Hello everybody, it's Jeff with AZCAMERA Reviews in Cheyenne, USA. And today I'm here to talk to you about security camera recording devices. Now that's a mouthful, but in the past I've been using a DVR and the cameras that I was using were analog. I just got a bunch of digital cameras that have pan, tilt, zoom, and I wanted to be able to control those, but they also are higher megapixel cameras. Some are 5 megapixels, some are 6 megapixels, and I needed something with a little more capacity, and I just needed to expand my system. So I decided to get a new NVR as opposed to a DVR. So I did some research, and I found this company called GW Security, which had really great ratings. And from what I read online, they said that they had very good customer support. So I figured I'd give them a shake. And I ended up buying this. And what this is it's a GW Security GW4208E. And I guess this just came out on the market. And I had looked around for other boxes that they had with the features that I wanted, but they weren't quite there. This one will allow you to record up to a 12 megapixel camera. And the other thing that's really great about it is since I don't have all of their cameras, I can use other people's cameras with it. So as long as the cameras that you want to use will support ONVIF, you're good to go. So you can use third-party cameras with this. You're not locked down as to, using a specific company's cameras with this NVR. The other thing is it will record 8 channels in 4K at H.265. It'll also do H.264. Now, you can't plug the cameras directly into the back of this. Well, you can, but there's only a couple of spigots, I think. So what I did was I went out and I purchased one of their switches also. And this is an 8-port switch, which will deliver 30 watts of whatever the power is that the cameras take. I think they're like between 5 and 12 volts or whatever. Don't quote me on that, but it'll handle up to a 30-watt camera on each one of the legs that's in here. And what we'll do is we'll unpack this a little bit later. But for now, let's unpack this and let's see what's in the box and get it installed. Okay, so I'm going to unpack this on the floor. Here we see the box, and let's just open it up and see what's inside. So we're going to open up the flaps, open up the top, and inside here it looks like we've got a bunch of foam and stuff like that. So let's look at the accessory first, see what's in the side. So it looks like we've got some stuff here for a hard drive. We've got a power cord. We've got a mouse. Let's see what else is down here. We've got a power supply. And a remote control. And I'll show you some close-ups of these out of the bag later on in the video. So now let's take the actual box out of the box. Okay, and see what we've got. We've got the actual unit. We'll put this down on the ground. And we have an instruction manual in a plastic bag. And let's look and see what we've got here. Take the plastic off the sides. And it's in a pink plastic bag, and there's a piece of tape here on the bottom. Let's slide this bad boy out, and that's what this looks like. It's the bottom. You got the vent holes, and there's already one hard drive in here that's mounted here, and there you can mount another hard drive on the other side, and you can see they're vented here on the bottom. And then this is what the top looks like, and in the front you've got your run, your net, your HD, your cloud. You have your infrared receptor from your remote control, and then you've got a USB connector on the front that you'll hook your mouse to. And then on the bottom, you've got your on-off switch, your 12 volts in for your power supply. You've got alarm in. You've got an RS-485 that you can hook up right here, and then you have your alarm outs. Then you have a USB 3, you have a USB 2, you have an HDMI 4K output, you have a VGA output, you have your audio in, your audio out, and then you have your links for your LAN connectors, and this will go to your switch box. So this is what your mouse looks like out of the packing material, and that's going to go into the front USB spigot here, and that's just going to plug in just like that. This is what your remote looks like out of the packing material, and let's take a look and see what type of power it takes. So let's open up the back, and it looks like it takes AAAs, which are available just about any place, or you can order them online if you like. So let's take it upstairs, inside, hook it up, and see how it works. Okay, so now let's hook this bad boy up. The first thing that we need to do is plug in the power. So what we're going to do is plug in the power into the 12 volt outlet, which is located right here. And then what we're going to do is hook up the HDMI cable, which will be going to the monitor. And that is going to go in right here, just like this. Okay. And last but not least, we're going to be hooking up this LANC cable, which is going to go into ACT1 on here. And it's going to run directly to our switch. So now what we're going to do is take the yellow cable that we have coming from the NVR. We're going to plug that into uplink number 9. And then what we're going to do is take a second cable, which is going to be our blue cable, and we're going to plug that into uplink number 10, which is going to go to our router. Okay, so now everything's hooked up. We're going to power everything up. So let's power up the unit. And while we're waiting for it to boot up, I'm going to plug in a wireless mouse as opposed to using the standard mouse that came with it. So now it's booting up, and we'll get a couple more lights on here. And they're on, and now we're ready to proceed to our next process. And now let's apply power to the switch. You'll notice the lights are going on and it's starting to transmit. Okay, so now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click in and I'm going to set up a username and a password, and we'll be back after I do that. Okay, so now you can see that the screen is dark, and we're going to go to our home page, and we're going to go to camera, and we're going to plug all 4 of our cameras in. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit a refresh and see if we can get our cameras to come up. Now, it usually takes a couple of minutes sometimes to get the cameras to come up. So we may have to hit refresh a couple of times. Hit refresh again. Now, the reason why it takes sometimes a little while is because the cameras are getting the power from the switch, the 8-port switch, and they're registering online. So you have to wait for them to come up in order to get their IP address. Let's hit refresh again. Okay, there's all 4 of our cameras. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add each one. Okay, and we've got our 4 cameras here. For some reason, I always get this error on here for camera number 241. And it just must be something else that's on my system that this box is picking up. But you can see that all 4 of these cameras are ready to go. And what you're going to do here is you're going to press this and make sure it's playing. There's one camera. Okay, we'll close that. There's the second camera. Okay, we'll close that one. There's the third camera. And there's the 4th camera. Okay, and the 4th camera is just a camera that I have here on my desk. And okay, so we'll close that. And now we're going to exit. And all 4 cameras should come up on the screen here in a moment once it refreshes. Okay, now for the heck of it, let's just go in here and let's try doing a zoom and a pan. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on the actual frame, and then you're going to go over here to PTZ control. You're going to click on that, and then this is going to come up. And then what you can do is you can do your pan just by hitting this little lever right here. I got mine set to move pretty fast. And then you can zoom. Whoa. And my camera's not locking up really good. There it goes. And then I can zoom back. I think the reason why it did that was because it was happening so fast. Now, this line that's coming down the middle, that's just a wire. I don't have everything hooked up permanently. I'm just trying different positions. So let's get out of this, and let's go into the front camera, which is my roof camera, and let's hit that. Now this one right here is a 4K, and it's got pretty good resolution. Okay, let's go up a little bit and let's zoom in across the street. It helps if I hit the plus button. Okay. There we are. We're in the street. Looks pretty good. Okay, let's go up a little bit. And let's go over a little bit onto this fire hydrant. Okay, and let's tilt down a little bit. Okay, and let's zoom in just a little bit more. Now my camera's having a hard time discerning between the wall and the fire hydrant, but that's not too bad. Let's go over to the flat wall so that we have a good solid target, and move up just a hair so we don't have that much parallax. And you can see, let's go into the trees. I think camera's stalled out here for a second. Let's give it a second to recover. Oh, look at that bird. Let's go in on that bird. See if he sticks around. No, just flew off. Okay. I think I am as high as the camera will go right now. Let's try zooming back and see where we are. Yes. That's as high as my camera will go. As you can see, I'm clicking on this now and it's not going any higher. So it'll tilt down, but it will not tilt up that far. So let's just zoom in again. The autofocus is trying to correct. There it is. Okay, and let's do a pan down or a tilt down. And you can see once the camera finds it, it's pretty darn sharp. Anyway, I think this is a pretty good system. I really like it. I'm going to be adding a few more cameras to it. So here's a nice shot of the wall. It's pretty darn sharp. Okay, and let's just pull back. Okay, now you can regulate the speed on this also by moving this little bar here. And I'll show you. So let's zoom in. Okay, now I'll go to the fast mode for the zoom out. It's not too bad. I've got the auto iris on right now. So I'm thinking that this is a pretty darn good NVR. Just for giggles, we'll come back here in a little while when it's in the night mode and see how it looks, and then we'll do a wrap up. The next time you see this, it will be nighttime. Okay, so here we are in night mode, and what we're going to do is take this and click it here, and we're going to go to the main garage camera, and we're going to hit that, and let's see how it works at night. So what we're going to do is let's just set this to slow. You see all these little things dodging in front of the camera. It's kind of wild. Let's just let's zoom in on the neighbor's house and see what it looks like at night, just for giggles. Okay, now it looks like it just kicked in another one of the the infrareds. There you go, you're looking at the wall. Pretty sharp. Okay, that's all the way in. Okay, so now let's zoom out. Okay, I'm just going to leave my finger on the button. You'll see it's going to change. Okay, so now let me bring this into the upper right corner. And let's take a look down the street for as far as we can. I've got a very, very limited range on here because of my garage eaves. Okay, now it should focus up here in a second. I always see all these little things swimming through the picture. I have no idea what they are. I think some of them are insects. Let's see. I know I'm kind of limited as to how high I can go. That's about the highest I can go. Let's try zooming in on that tree across the street. See what we can do on that. Okay. Okay, now we just kicked into the other emitters. It's having a little hard time focusing. And there we go. I think the night vision on this is pretty darn good, but this is a higher end camera. So let's just zoom back. Okay, we lost one of the LEDs, and that kind of shows you what this thing is going to do at night. When I come back, I'm going to do a final wrap up on this, but what I want to show you in the morning, when there's a little more detail and you'll be able to see more, is I want to show you how the interface works on the cell phone. And then after I show you the cell phone interface, what we'll do is we'll do a wrap up, and I'll let you know what I think. I know this video is a little bit long, but I'm playing with this thing and I'm having a good time. So until tomorrow morning, catch you later. So I've showed you how the NVR works. I've showed you how to set it up. I want to show you one more thing. I want to show you the cell phone interface, which is extremely easy to use. I've found that it moves all the cameras that I have very, very easily, and it works great. So let's take a look at that, and then let's do the wrap up on the review. So now you can see this is the GW view. This is the app, and what you're going to do is you're going to click on it, and GW view will open up. And then once it opens up, it will refresh all the cameras, and you'll see your different cameras. And I've got 3 that are running right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to select this one, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come down here, and we're going to hit PTZ, and that will refresh the camera that you want to see. And then what I usually like to do is I usually like to go in here, and I usually like to set it for medium, because if it's in medium, the camera will move faster. So now when I hit the pan, what'll happen is it starts panning for us this way. Then we'll pan it back to where it needs to be. Like so. And now I'll show you how it tilts down. Like so. And then I'll show you how it tilts back up. So that's how the user interface works on your cell phone. So, what do I think of the GW Security GW4208E? I think it's great. My cameras were easily accessed and they set up really, really well. It's got a great user interface. It works really, really well with my cell phone. The only thing that I would advise you, and you know you're probably going to have to buy, is one of these. And you're going to need at least an 8-port switch if you're going to be doing 8 cameras. If you're only going to be doing 4 cameras, you only need a 4-port switch. So remember, when you're ordering this, you're going to need either a 4 or an 8-port switch. All in all, real easy to use. Like I said, NVR, I would recommend it 100%. And the build quality is good. It comes with some nice accessories. And I would definitely recommend the GW Security GW4208E. Until next time, I'm Jeff with AZCAMERA Reviews saying, please like us, please watch us, please share us, and most of all, please subscribe. Bye-bye.